8 things you should never tolerate in a relationship. Now, sometimes I see many people stay in relationships where they are struggling, they are suffering, toxic relationship. Now, there are things you should never ever tolerate in a relationship. Number one, lack of communication. Why be with someone who cannot stay in touch with you? Someone who goes mute for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, they are still not talking to you. You text them, they block you. They just ignore you, and you are still there. Lack of communication is something you should never tolerate in a relationship. Ephesians 4 verse 25. Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of you speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another. Number two, disrespect and pride. If there's anything that brings down marriages, it's something called pride. And if someone speaks with so much ego that they disrespect you as a woman, as an equal partner in a relationship, that is not something you should allow to be tolerated. Now the Bible says in 1 Peter 5 verse 5, likewise, you who are younger, be subject to the elders, clothe yourselves, all of you, with humility towards one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Number three, hot-tempered people. Now there's a difference between anger and temper. Anger can be controlled. Temper, my friend, this is what leads to people even fighting and even killing each other, because they're not able to control that anger. Now the Bible says in Proverbs 14 verse 29, whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly. Bible says in James 1 verse 19, know this, my beloved brothers, let every man be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Number four, an abusive partner. I don't advocate for divorce or separation, but if someone is actually beating you up, someone is harming, someone is very harsh to you, why would you want to stay somewhere that you'll actually get killed one day? Do you want to go back to your mom's home in a coffin? If someone is not respecting you enough to know that they cannot beat you, my friend, you need to think twice. Now the Bible says in Proverbs 22 verse 24, make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. Actually, such people are unbelievers, and God actually allows that you stay away from some people of this nature. In fact, God allows you to actually leave them. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 15, and it says, but if the unbelieving partner separates, let it be so. In such cases, the brother or sister is not enslaved. God has called you to peace. Number five, constant criticism. Someone who is always attacking you in a negative way, always saying how bad you are, targeting your weaknesses all the time, never seeing your strength in any form. That's not something to tolerate. You don't want to live like you're in a prison. It's like you're always in school. The Bible says in Colossians 4 verse 6, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Number six, infidelity. If your man is cheating, your partner is cheating, you need to take action. Yes, many people have given their partners a leeway of cheating over and over again because they keep tolerating the vice. They cheat, you forgive them, and then they are back into it again. And when they come and ask for forgiveness, they still repeat it, and you're still out there again. Now, such men need not be tolerated. The Bible says in Hebrews 13 verse 4, let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the bed be undefiled. But God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. Number seven, people who give you what is called emotional manipulation and neglect. You need to feel loved. You need to feel appreciated. You need to feel like you're wanted. And if someone is neglecting you emotionally, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to spend time with you, you cannot tolerate this, and you need to have a sit down and discuss. Now the Bible says in Hebrews 10 verse 25, not neglecting to meet each other, as is a habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. Number 8, lies. A man whose words and actions are not aligned. A man who says this, then tomorrow he does the opposite. A man who keeps changing tune. By the way, lies are in the list of things that God detests. In fact, he says it's an abomination. Listen to the list of the things that God hates. Proverbs 6 verse 16. There are 6 things that the Lord hates. 7 are an abomination to him. This is the first one. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A liar has been put in the same category as a murderer. A heart that devises wicked plans. Feet that make haste to run to evil. A false witness who breathes out lies. And one who sows discord among brothers. Now, if you're experiencing these things, you need to have a sit down with your partner. Tell them, I cannot tolerate this. I'm not going to allow you to keep cheating. These lies are not necessary. This disrespect cannot be allowed. I need to be heard. I need to feel like I'm emotionally wanted. Have a sit down. If it's not working, get a counselor or a pastor. Have a discussion with them and say, you know, this has been happening. Let's try and work on this. Otherwise, if this continues over and over again, you'll end up very depressed. You'll end up thinking life is difficult and life is unhappy, and you'll be a person without any form of joy.